Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, come in today. You're very, very welcome. How great to see everybody back. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Illustrator, the band Illustrator, and we looked at a new way of looking at love. So I trust you found that one encouraging. We're going from there to Utah in 2008, but these guys pretty much operate in Las Vegas. Dan Reynolds met Andrew Tolman, and they soon brought on board Wayne Sermon, Brittany Tolman, Aurora Florence, and there was also Dave Linky at the start. Guys were talking about Are the Imagine Dragons. Great name for a band. Apparently it's based on an anagram of a phrase, which only the band knows about, so a bit of mystery with their name as well, but such a really, really good name. Imagining what life can be like. Also bringing in the concept of the dragon, which is powerful yet graceful. They've released a few EPs, 2009, 2010 and 2011. And it was in 2011 that they got signed to Interscope Records, and they haven't looked back pretty much since then, and nor has a record label actually. 2012 out came the EP to Coloured Silence. And probably the most well-known song, a song that certainly I met these guys through, is the song It's Time. It also would then follow up on their first debut album of Night Vision in 2012 as well. Now, It's Time. One of the lines, and when you look at the Wikipedia entry on this song, one of the lines is, knowing you're doing something right. And I think as the songwriter talks about, he talks about the fact that I knew I was onto a really good thing with this song. There was just something about it. It was 3 a.m. in the morning. No, life wasn't going so well, really. And this song just kind of came to my mind, and it was written in no time at all. The words kind of just popped in, and there it was. And the good thing about lyric writing, any good lyric writing, it's got to be mysterious and a bit open to interpretation, which is absolutely what this song is. Night Vision went to number 2 in the Billboard charts and number 1 in the adult contemporary charts. So very, very successful in the album in the scheme of things. We've got a both official and live version below of It's Time. Now just listen to the live version. Everybody knows the words. And there's quite a bit of time there where he doesn't sing at all. He just listens to the audience. It's nothing like an audience that's singing you a song back to you. And this is absolutely what is the case here. It's time. One of the lines in the Wikipedia entry, knowing you're doing something right. Now, in this world, I think of continual self-development, not always enhancing always enhancing ourselves, always moving on to the next thing, always learning stuff. How often do we just sort of take stock of where we're up to? Thinking, okay, well, now this bit's going all right. This bit's going all right too. You know, sure, that bit could be a bit of work. But instead of looking at the stuff that needs a bit of work, how often do we just look at the stuff that's going well? Give ourselves permission to smile at ourselves a little bit and say, hey, you're doing pretty good in that particular thing. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm sure I'm going to get caught out eventually. I'm sure I'm going to get found out. No. Because you know what? We're doing the best we can with what we got. We don't always need to be always developing, always growing, always looking for the next thing to change. Obviously, you know, life is always a bit of a learning experience, but we don't appreciate the journey we've been on and where we come up to in this point. We think, well, what's the next thing? What about celebrating where we're at? If you've come through a particularly tricky time and, you know, you're breathing a little bit, celebrate the fact you've come through that time. Celebrate the fact that you actually are quite resilient and strong. Celebrate the fact that you are still alive and you're walking and you're hoping for the future. We looked at that hope a little bit a couple of videos ago, and we looked about the fact that sometimes hope is a pretty potent power in the universe. And I talked about sometimes where hope is not required. Well, this category is different. This is hope where hope is required, because we look at ourselves and think, actually, I'm doing okay. We've got to give ourselves permission to say we're doing okay. If we don't ever say that, and if we don't ever celebrate, where we've come and where we've been, you know, we don't live. We just always living in regret. Sometimes let's put regret aside and celebrate the fact that we have achieved what we have. Doesn't matter how small it is. You know, if you've been locked in your house for, for months and you haven't been able to get out, and you go out, you can just go outside that front door. Celebrate that. If you go for a walk, if you go somewhere, if you meet other people, celebrate that fact. Don't think, well, I'm just going to go and hope I don't get caught out. The fact you're going out at all is pretty amazing. You're an amazing person. If you're looking at this video right now thinking I'm not that amazing, hey, just stop that thinking for a second. You're an amazing person. You're a beautiful person. You're an incredible person. And I think, it's time is a bit of a wake-up call to all of us about, hey, instead of wishing for what can be, celebrate what is, because it's time to do that. And I believe Imagine Dragons are probably also through this song. The hope of this song, the positivity of this song, the absolute monster success that this song has been, they'd be hoping to make a bit of an impact on the world as well with this song. So it's time, absolutely, it's time for you. It's time for you to celebrate where you've come from. So I trust that would be encouraging for you today. Follow-up single on Night Vision was Radioactive. I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones. It's one of the lines of this song, absolutely. Looking at the long time after we say it's time, hey, I'm waking up, implies we've been asleep a bit. Well, not kind of asleep as in physically asleep in our bed, but I've been asleep, just not really living, and I really want to leave. In fact, I'm feeling it in my bones. So obviously when we get that feeling, we've got to act on it, right? Radioactive, it's all something pretty cool about the potency of radioactivity as well. Live version of that one. Out in 2015, Smoke and Mirrors. We got the official version of this one, and I Bet My Life are going on a similar theme. There seems to be a bit of similar theme in Imagine Dragons songs, that is, imagining, not only celebrating where we've come from, but also imagining what if. So I Bet My Life is a pretty amazing song. The clip's pretty confronting at the start, but just stay with it. It's pretty cool. Evolve came out in 2017, and we got a live version of Thunder of that album. 2018 out came Origin, so these guys have been pretty busy if you think about it. 3 EPs, 2009, 2010, 2011. We had an EP in 2012, first release 2012. We've had an album in 2015, 2017, 2018. And then following on from that, we had Mercury Act 1, and we got the song Follow You. Now, there's a pretty nice story behind this one. Again, reading the Wikipedia entry on this one. Apparently, there was the lead singer was going through a bit of a marriage breakdown, and he thought it was all over, and the divorce was kind of happening. And then 7 months later, his wife reaches out to him and says, "Hey, babe," and they actually got back together. So it's a pretty amazing song, pretty amazing words too to think about life that can actually do this at times. There is hope, even in desperation, which is what a marriage breakdown absolutely is, absolutely. But they got back together, so a bit of a celebration of that with Follow You. Official on that one. Between 2012 and 2022, there's been 6 studio albums, 4 live albums, 1 compilation album, 27 singles, 23 music videos. These guys are pretty successful, actually. 46 million album sales worldwide, 55 million singles, and cost all the streaming and all the stuff that goes on these days as well. So pretty successful in the scheme of things. I love Dan's voice. His voice is just so strong. It's got a bit of a pleading quality to it as well. When you listen to the start of It's Time, that keyboard riff at the start, but then when the full band comes in to really build the song up, it's kind of spine tingling a little bit, which has made the Imagine Dragons think, well, what can we do to make this song come alive? And they absolutely did that with the production of It's Time. So the links to those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clips are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from Illustrator. So if you want to recap on that one, feel free. As you can tell, we're still going through the eyes in my playlist at the moment. If you come back for another one, or this is your first time to Life Reflections Your Music, how great to see you, everybody here. And I'm so glad, thank you for the support that we've been getting. Well, next time, and I've got a little bit of a challenging video next time, but we've got to give these guys a go because they are very significant in the world of music, and that's the Imperials. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.